I have a 2021 Lexus RX 450h. And this particular one is a little bit different because it has the black line package. So for an additional $685, you get some of this black treatment. So both obviously around the car, you get this decal right here. There's black trim in this section right here and also here. And then best part, these 20-inch black rims with a set of Michelin tires. It looks pretty cool. Decide whether you want to pay almost $700 for it to look that way. It's your decision. The other difference is at the front. Around the front, we continue the black treatment with these unfortunately fake air intakes, and then the massive Lexus grille is also black as well. I actually think it looks pretty good. Finally, for your $685, you get a Zero Halliburton two-piece set of luggage delivered to any address that you would like it to be shipped to. Now this one is an F Sport version, so it comes with these really kind of cool LED lights. It also includes F Sport dampers as well. It doesn't really make this car any quicker than the standard car, but I do like these lights. All right, so around the back, it's a mid-size SUV, actually one of Lexus's biggest sellers. Even last year in 2020, they sold over 100,000 of these. Typically, they'll sell about 120, so they didn't take much of a ding, considering that it was a pandemic year, so they did pretty well. Anyway, here's the rear. There's about 30 cubic feet of space here. You can push these seats down for some more space, somewhere around 58 cubic feet of space. It does sit a little bit high, so loading larger items is a little tough, but it's definitely plenty of space for whatever you might need. So under the hood, you get a 3.5 liter V6. It's been detuned over the engine that you get in the RX 350, which has about 295 horsepower. This has been detuned because you've got two electric motors that drive the rear wheels. Obviously, this is an all-wheel drive. All the hybrids are all-wheel drive. So the combined output of this one is 308 horsepower, but it strangely is down on torque over the 350. This has 347 foot-pounds, and the 350 has 267. Go figure. Although having driven both, this one does feel a little sprightlier around town, so this might be the one to go for. It's driven through not my favorite CVT, as all hybrids are, but it's smooth. It remains relatively quiet unless you stomp on the gas. All right, so hop in the back. There is a decent amount of room in the back, and weirdly, I'm finding that the rear seats are slightly more comfortable than the fronts. The fronts seem a little hard. It might be the way that they're bolstered because it has the F Sport seats in the front. Anyway, gets the F Sport treatment here, blue around the mats, blue stitching on the seats, this little white trim. It's very nice, very luxurious place to be in the back. And then you get this armrest with, you know, typical Lexus quality. Just the whole way that opens and closes is sort of like nice small cup holders in the back of the armrest. All in all, it's a pretty decent place to be. You could certainly spend some time in here. And then obviously in the back here, you've got a little bit of room there for anything that you might need to put in there. All right, so these are the F Sport seats. You get a little bit more side bolstering at the bottom of the seat and at the sides than the standard car. I think they're a little hard. For longer trips, they felt a little bit hard. I was out sitting in these seats for about 25 minutes the other day, and I felt like they were a little bit hard. As I said, I think the backs are a little bit more comfortable, which is weird. That's normally not the way it goes. But other than that, this is definitely Lexus. The quality is here. The design is super cool. What do I like about it? Well, Lexus always gives you a regular old style analog clock. They give you all these redundant dials here to be able to operate it. Basically because the horrible touchpad is just so awful to use, and I wish they would get rid of it. So Lexus seems to be stuck in the middle of this, you know, how do we get rid of the touchpad and at the same time bring this car into the 21st century by having a decent touchscreen. So it has a touchscreen. The problem with this touchscreen is you have to be either 6'10" 10 to reach it, or an orangutan. It's just too far away to be able to reach all the stuff that you need. Now, we recently drove the LS500, and they'd actually brought that forward so that when you're in a decent driving position, you can touch the various parts without having to lean too far forward. So they've got a little bit of work to do there. It is decently quick. You can operate most of these things from down here, as I said, and from the horrible touchpad by sort of bouncing around all over the place. This one has navigation as standard, and it is a decently quick system to get going. There's a decent amount of storage in the middle. They're very generous with their USB slots. 2 in here. There are 4 in the back, and then there are another 2 right here, as well as the old-fashioned little 12-volt with their pretend little cigarette lighter cap to cover that. This one has both heated and cooled seats, and then these cup holders, which leads to me another one of my favorite things. This particular one will take a smaller cup, and then this one also seems to be only to be able to take a smaller cup, but I can sort of demonstrate with my phone. If you have a taller cup and you push down on that, it holds the cup. And then there's a little button here, and it rises back up so you can take it out. I really like that, just the little things that Lexus have thought about. It's a shame that they couldn't concentrate on thinking about other things like the touchscreen to work better, and not just simply the cup holder. There is also a handy little phone holder right here, and it looks like it's designed for a number of different sized phones. I got a smaller phone, so it probably will end up rattling around in there. Super nice place to be. One thing that I don't like is it's a hybrid, it's meant for economy, it's got paddle shifters. Come on, nobody needs paddle shifters with a car like this. Additional stuff that's on this that's been checked in the options list, it's got a heads-up display, which is kind of nice, automatic lights, high beam, low beam, and then you've got your usual controls. You can control your track changes, you can obviously do hands-free for phone, it's got all the safety features, lane detection, pedestrian detection, blind spot monitoring, you name it. Lexus comes with the full suite. This particular car, base price is actually only $52, which is a relative bargain. It's got lots of bells and whistles, including a sunroof, which is almost $2,000. So this one comes out to be around another $10,000 above that. But I think it's a pretty solid car, and I think it's not hard to believe why 100,000 plus people buy one of these every year. Okay, so off we go. See how this thing drives. Now, as I said, it has 308 combined horsepower and 3 different dial modes down here. One is Sport, which I've tested. It makes a lot of noise. This naturally aspirated 6, detuned from the standard version, is sort of buzzy and noisy. Kind of sounds like a Dyson vacuum cleaner. It's actually a lot more enjoyable to have this car in normal, or in fact actually in eco mode. So I've been getting some pretty decent fuel economy. Longer trips around 28, 29, probably end up averaging around 24 for the week, which is a lot better than the all-gas version. Nice thing about this Lexus is it's super smooth, super comfortable. Really nice place to be. I don't like these seats. They are a little bit hard, a little Germanic. I prefer a little more cushioning. But all in all, it is a really nice car to drive. The only issues that there are, apart from that seat, there is no heated steering wheel. Yeah, first world problems, I know. For this kind of luxury vehicle alone, it's been pretty chilly here in California, especially when you leave a car outside at night. The heated seats come in really useful and heat up really fast. I like that, but there's no heated steering wheel. So trips to the mountains where the temperature's been 17 to 18 Fahrenheit, it's been a little bit chilly. But anyway, Lexus put in a heated steering wheel. So I've been getting some pretty decent fuel economy. Longer trips around 28, 29, probably end up averaging around 24 for the week, which is a lot better than the all-gas version. Nice thing about this Lexus is it's super smooth, super comfortable. Really nice place to be. I don't like these seats. They are a little bit hard, a little Germanic. I prefer a little more cushioning. But all in all, it is a really nice car to drive. The only issues that there are, apart from that seat, there is no heated steering wheel. Yeah, first world problems, I know. For this kind of luxury vehicle though, and it's been pretty chilly here in California, especially when you leave a car outside at night. The heated seats come in really useful and heat up really fast. I like that, but there's no heated steering wheel. So trips to the mountains where the temperature's been 17 to 18 Fahrenheit, it's been a little bit chilly. But anyway, Lexus put in a heated steering wheel. Other than that, everything inside is beautiful, really well made, as it should be, well put together. Lexus knows the market that they have for this car. Now obviously it's not very fast. I mean, 0 to 60 is going to be around 7.5 seconds. It doesn't do too well from a stop. The electric motor kicks in and does apply a little bit more torque, and that's nice. But once that buzzy engine kicks in, it's kind of annoying. This one's $53 base price for this F Sport. As I said, it's got some options on it. It takes it to around 62. Still cheaper than some German rivals, but again, they are all quicker than this. But they're not going to last as long. These Lexuses are solid. All right, let's get on the highway and get up to some slightly higher speeds here. And then we're doing 86. It's pretty quick. It definitely gets out of its own way. It's also supremely quiet. I mean, there's barely any noise around the mirrors. There's certainly no noise around here, which is highly irritating if that's the case. Especially if it sounds. Some cars, I feel, they sound like the window's half open, and I'm constantly trying to close the window. And the gauges in front of you in eco mode tell you when you're charging, tell you when you're in the eco band, and then when you're in the power band. Let's leap into the power band. I don't know why they can't make it sound good at low speeds. It sounds a lot better at higher speeds, which we like. Nobody wants to go slow. Its high-speed cruising in lane is exemplary. The steering is really good, quite light. Brakes are really good for a hybrid system. Stop the car real well. There's a little bit of pitch and dive. Car squats a little bit with the softer suspension setting. All right, so we'll come off the freeway here. So I like it. Is it a car for me? No, I drive a lot of cars. But if you're considering a mid-size luxury SUV and you want good gas mileage and you want a great sound system, don't buy the F Sport version, buy the regular one and save yourself a little bit of money right there. Be careful checking the options, it gets pricey, but this is definitely a car I would recommend. I would certainly recommend having a look around and seeing what else is on offer. There's a lot of cars out there that claim to be luxury mid-size SUVs, but this is a solid effort from Lexus, and it is their best seller, as I mentioned earlier. Over 100,000 in 2020 during a massive pandemic. So that's pretty good. Anyway, definitely appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, make a comment, let me know what you think. Anyone that buys one of these, let me know what you think of the car, whether it's a 350 or a 450. We'll be back next time with another interesting video. Bye.